When I was growing up in India, we had a tradition on New Year's Eve where before the clock struck 12, we would burn an effigy of an old man. It symbolized everything that was painful, sad, unhappy, challenging in the old year. And it also symbolized a fresh start, welcoming the new year. Do you have a tradition like that in your country? I believe we picked up the tradition from the Portuguese who at one point colonized India, the city of Goa. So in the US, where I currently live, I don't believe there are any traditions similar to this, but there are so many creative ways to prepare for the new year and also review and reset everything that you did in the previous year. So I'd like to give you some strategies and tips to help you get rid of everything that didn't work in this year and to welcome the new year with some goals that will help you advance your career, help you achieve the success you desire and want, and get the visibility and the new opportunities that come with meeting and advancing your goals. So you can open a Google Doc, get a sheet of paper, and divide it into three. I always like to start with wins. So the first column will be wins. The second one or the second section will be challenges and things that didn't work in 2024 or whatever the current year is, because I'm hoping this video will help people who watch it maybe 1 year down the line. And the third column or section will be what you want to say goodbye to. So let's start with the wins. What were things that you achieved this year? Did you set goals for yourself at the beginning of this year? What were some of the goals that you met? What were some unexpected wins? What were some new skills that you developed that helped you with achieving the goals, career successes, anything that helps you with advancing your career, helping you get the success you want? And the second section is what didn't work. Maybe something stopped you from achieving your goals. Maybe you didn't have the right skills or the right team or the right mindset. So that's the second section. And then the third one, once you do those two, it'll give you more clarity on what you want to get rid of. Now, if you've been watching my YouTube series on how to grow and monetize my YouTube channel, which I started at the end of this year, 2024, my growth has been very slow. I barely moved an inch, I would say, with the number of subscribers, with my public watch hours. So maybe 1 year down the line, I may not have made much progress. Maybe I'll feel I'm putting in so much effort and time and I've not been able to crack the code. I hope that's not the case. But just say at the end of next year, it's like the return on investment is just not there. Maybe my target audience is really not interested in my videos. I'm not really creating any impact and influence. I'm not generating revenue, considering how many hours I'm putting in and how much of my expertise and education and entertainment maybe I'm sharing. So I'll shelf it. So maybe there are things like that. And sometimes we really get married to certain projects and feel we want to see success, we want to make it happen, and that's good. There's been certain things, and I'll talk about them, that I've done for a couple of years. And this next year I'm going to get rid of them. I'm going to let go because I put in 2, 3 years with some of them and I haven't seen much progress, and they have taken up a major part of my time, brought in very little revenue or advanced my career. They have helped me in my journey, but I just don't want to focus on them for 2025. And that's actually would lead me to the final section. What do you want to let go of, right? As I mentioned, what didn't work for you? What do you want to say goodbye to? What are certain skills that you put all this effort into, but they haven't really helped you? Maybe you need to look at different skills. So I'll give you 2 examples of things that I put in a lot of time and energy and some amount of expertise for the last few years. So during the pandemic, because my in-person events dried up, I started doing virtual events, and I started doing virtual summits, which are very time consuming, pretty stressful because you're hosting a virtual event, maybe a day or a couple of days. You're bringing in a lot of speakers. you're doing a lot of promotion, you're trying to find sponsors, and you're dealing with guests. Some people are very successful and they bring in a lot of revenue, they bring in a lot of new email subscribers, a lot of new audiences. Maybe my Expat Woman Summits are more general, the topics were more generalized. I just did not see the return on investment. I had some amazing speakers. I did a lot of promotion. I learned how to host virtual summits. I got over my fear of public speaking on camera thanks to the summits because I had to do videos where I was welcoming guests. I was doing my own master classes, recording workshops for the summit, doing Facebook Lives, doing Instagram Lives. So I have to say there was a lot of good that came out of it. I definitely got more confident. I connected with so many amazing expat women leaders across the globe. And I did bring in new folks. I did bring in some new sponsors. I did bring in some new members to the Expat Woman membership. But I'm going to pause on the summits for next year because it is very time consuming. I have to start planning 3 to 4 months before. I spend a lot of time promoting speakers, and I just feel that maybe I could try using that time for some other projects in 2025. And once I get those going, I might go back to summits in the future. Summits are free, so anyone can join them. And then I have like upgrades where people can pay a certain amount to get recordings of the summit. And there were very few people that would purchase the recordings. So it was basically mostly free with a little bit of revenue from sponsors. The other thing that I'm letting go of in 2025 or putting a pause on it is weekly live streams with expat leaders, influencers, service providers. So since November of last year, every week on a Tuesday at 9 a.m. PST, I would go live on the Expat Woman YouTube channel, on the Expat Woman Facebook page, and on the Expat Woman LinkedIn page. So the interviews were 30 minutes, and there was a lot of prep involved. I had to first find the speakers, have them share information with me, get my virtual assistants to create graphics, create these event pages on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, get additional information from my speakers, send them the links. And I couldn't go directly on these pages. I had to use a third-party tool. I was using a streaming platform called StreamYard, and then I have to send them that link as well. And then I had all kinds of technical issues during the live. I'd say about 70% of them were I had some issue where I either got kicked off, my face got frozen, sometimes my speakers' faces got frozen. It was just a lot of stress. I was no longer stressed about going live because I got more and more comfortable being on camera, but I was scared about some technical issues, and so often my speakers were in other countries and they'd make the time to go live with me, and then I'd have these issues. And then, of course, StreamYard also increased the rates. So I decided it's exhausting doing these lives every week because there's so much involved. I didn't see an increase in the views on the Expat Woman YouTube page or on the Facebook or LinkedIn pages. It didn't bring in many viewers, even though the topics were pretty amazing. The speakers or my guests were really great. It just wasn't bringing in the numbers that I wanted. So I'm putting that on pause. I might do a few recordings for the Expat Woman YouTube channel where I interview guest speakers and sponsors of the Expat Woman events, or who want to market and promote their services to the Expat Woman community. But those will be pre-recorded and then I will upload them. So I would say this year, 2024, has been the year of clarity for me because of the various challenges I face, because we finally come out of the pandemic. I've had enough time to figure stuff out, play around with what I want to achieve this year, what didn't work, what skills I need to develop, what I want for myself in 2025. And I'm only talking about professional goals. I would have to do another video for personal goals because they are different. Clarity is a word for me for 2024. I am going to think about what word I want to use for 2025. So stay tuned for my next video. But I encourage you to take some time, even though the new year has started, to look at this past year. I am going to share a link to a workbook I've created for the members of the Expat Woman membership, but I'm sharing it with you as well. Anyone who's watching this YouTube video, it's the Review and Reflections workbook. You can download it, and when you do this work, it will give you clarity on your goals for 2025. Thanks so much for watching. Happy New Year, and I'll see you soon in the next video. If you enjoy this, do like and subscribe to this channel. Let me know in the comments what your goals are for 2025. What was something you said goodbye to in 2024? And anything else that you want to add or any tips you want to share. Bye.